Yeah,
the intro clip didn't work.
it doesn't matter. We're here. Hi, everybody. And this is where you say hi, Dr. Nick, like we're the Simpsons from the early 2000s.
I know who the Dr. Nick is. I understand.
Well, you didn't say it, though, did you?
I was too annoyed at the fact that the software is not working.
Well, that is a part of 2020 software not working. Welcome, everybody, to Sportanks.
Free?
Yeah, Sportanks Rundown. Welcome, all three of you.
Yeah.
It'll
I'm
pick
going to
up.
ask you a question, actually.
Okay.
Actually, let's tell everyone the good news first.
Cambridge beats Solent.
Hey?
What?
No. But, well, first of all, let's address the empty TV box in the room.
Yeah.
That's been a week now, at least.
I know.
Well, I'm not impressed.
Mate, it's going to be there for even more. Oh,
Fuck
Woolly
him.
Mike. He's made himself a new Facebook page.
Has he?
Well, I don't know.
There's Russ.
Hey, Russ.
All the usual suspects falling in place.
I was going to say, everybody just falling in as they're supposed to. Right. Are you wanting to address the elephant in the room of the TV box, or are you wanting to address what this little black thing is? Yeah. Well, it turns out that, give them 3 weeks and Tabs can actually get something shipped to you. So here we go. Look at that.
Nice.
Look at this production quality. Listen to how clean I sound, how good I sound.
It was more about it not cutting out and crackling. That was the most important thing.
Well, they ain't gonna be none of that.
We've got added quality as well, which we're very
well. It's good because I'm going to be on a podcast tomorrow, so I'll be able to use this tomorrow.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I've got an NFL podcast which I got to talk shit about.
Boring.
So, yeah, well, mate, I'm here for the. I told them, they were like, "What days can you do?" I was like, "I cannot do Monday. I've got the most important thing in the world Monday nights."
Yeah, my people need me.
Yeah, 100%. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be here to heap praise upon to the Brit Ballers.
I don't think what other you're swearing.
my swearing will be so much clearer. Yeah, no one's gonna get mistaken when I insult them. I'll tell you that much. No one's gonna be like, "Was that aimed at me?"
I'm trying to think if there's any talking points outside of the fixtures for Britball. Nothing crazy's happened last week, is it?
Well, there was absolute. I mean, there was a really. I'm just trying to fix my hair now as well. You don't have that problem, but I suppose it's the amazing product that Baffa put out for their live stream.
They didn't do that, did
they? The Caesars one. The Caesars.
That wasn't a Baffa one. That was a Caesars own one.
Oh, was that Caesars own one?
Yeah, Baffa promoted it.
Right. Okay. I thought that was a Baffa production.
No, they pay either Cheers Mate or Onside Productions to do theirs.
Right. Okay.
And last year they did one a week, and they've not done it this week. This year they've done one, I think, so far all season. So shame, because the more the merrier when it comes to live streaming, man.
No, but Matt, if I shave it all off, then I can't comb over my bald spot because my whole head will be my bald spot.
Mate, bad, isn't it?
So at the moment,
I saw that as a shame.
I'm still holding on to the vestiges. Well, that was the thing. I saw the screenshots that you guys posted.
So I didn't realize. Obviously, I was filming our live.
You were doing ours. Yeah,
I didn't. I watched a little bit. I wanted to watch a little. Well, what I wanted to watch was to see if the refs were mic'd up, because the refs refused to be mic'd up yesterday. Apparently, there's a new rule, and refs will only be mic'd up to a stadium announcement speaker. So I was like, all right, whatever, man. It's just an ongoing battle. But some refs are sound, just like, yeah, we'll be mic'd up. Yeah. It's just some nonsense. But
I don't want to be on your stream. I want the stadium to hear me.
Yeah, just it. It's always with Britball a few steps forwards and one step back.
Can you next stream you guys do, right? Can you take one of those fucking like loud hailer microphones and say, look, we'll mic you up, and then when you need to make your announcement, just
it's just
continuing with the Simpsons theme, we can stack like 10 of them together.
Yeah. So I don't know, just silliness.
Yeah.
Them trying to adhere to some rule about live streaming and essentially circumventing it by saying it's only for mics are only for stadium announcements.
I love the fact that they're probably citing some rule book that was written long before live streaming even existed.
Yeah, just bollocks. But yeah, so it'll just be hit and miss now, as it always. Well, it has been that way for a few weeks. It's just some refs just walk up to us and say, "Can I have a mic?" We're like, "Yeah, sure." Others are like,
"No, I don't want you to hear me.
Not allowed." No, well, no, they're all right. Like they're like, we would, but we've been told we can't. All right.
What is yeah.
I don't care enough to fight it. It's just absolute more.
Yeah, but we never even really cared enough. Sometimes you just fight. And you just fight for the sake of fighting.
Football bullshit. It feels very personal to me. Where this problem had never occurred until Sport Tank started live streaming games.
Well, it's because no one was really live streaming games.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were. They were live streaming.
No, they were. Let's not make it out like there was a consistent every single week. It was infrequent at best. Like we had Baffa do their one a week last year, right? And then we had Onside and Cheers Mate that would do like big games.
Yeah, and then you did have at one point you did have UKFL who before they were a league decided they wanted to be a media outlet, and then before that they decided they were going to be a live streaming, and they did live streaming.
Yeah, but next year, have you not heard? Next year they're going to sell gear.
What?
No, not Portsmouth gear. No, American football gear.
It wouldn't surprise me. But anyway, yeah. But yeah, so anyway, so I watched it back and I saw it was like this, like it was like software gore, like poor software, where the window just repeats and repeats.
It was painful. It was painful to watch.
But yeah, the thing is, they use, from what I could tell, they were using the same equipment that the Nottingham Gold and Nottingham use, and it normally works, So it must have been some glitch, something unforeseen, and hopefully they'll be back because the angle that they get there is perfect. It's like it feels like you're almost playing a game, like some sort of like World of Warcraft or whatever. Like it's
because you've got the tape like the top
it's like an ISO angle. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like such a good angle they've got there. And they had two commentators. They had Sean who was doing all of the video and all audio and stuff, and it's good. It's just it didn't work that day. So I stick with them. They're gonna, it's gonna be good, and it's good to have more people live streaming.
Well, that's the thing. More live streams always is going to be a good thing because more live streams, more product means that people are going to look to produce a better product, and it just works for the consumer more and more.
Well, Russ has said here about if the refs could cut out the other commentary. No, it can't.
The commentators just need to shut
the commentators need to pay attention to the game. Yeah, it's like when the ref's going to speak.
Yeah,
he fucking walks over to his own little area and speaks.
Yeah, and he just stands there.
Yeah, they just need to shut up when the ref speaks. But yeah, no, we can't.
Tibbs, Mike, if you're paying attention, shut up.
But no, they're getting better. I keep getting compliments about Tibbs and Mike, like getting better and their chemistry's working and stuff. Is good.
Is it? It's good. It's good if they're getting better though. But they did start at the bottom. It's like if you're here, the only way to go is up.
They didn't.
The only way to go is up.
Tibbs is watching.
Yeah, I knew he would be, and Mike's already said that he's watching. So,
have you spoken about the Stampede yet? No, we haven't spoken about anyone yet. Oh, look, both of them popped up.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. We saw Mike Mike was already here at the start, and I knew Tibbs would be watching because he's got nothing else to circle jerk to on a Monday night. So he's got to re-top up the wank bag.
Well, should we look at the results then and go through them?
Shall we? Are you telling me we're going to be starting a review at 8:10?
Yeah, I know. Stupid. I don't want to do it. Actually, I've got a question I want to ask you, and I haven't asked you yet.
Are we talking about the weather?
Nothing to do with football.
Oh, okay. Yeah, save it for a football live stream. Yeah, I was going to say, football live stream is the best place to ask me a personal question, unfootball related.
So we're on the last season of Yellowstone.
Right.
Don't give me any spoilers, but this question, I've been watching it, and this question's popped up in my head a couple of times. Oh, shit. It says week 3 review. It's week 4. Let me see if I can change it. Probably won't work. No, it won't. I won't do it.
No one cares. Carry on.
What a shame. Yeah. Which character or characters do you think would you pick for a spin-off series? No, one. Which character of
Rip. Rip.
would you see? I think Mo. Because I think Mo is the bodyguard of the.
Oh yeah, okay, no,
I think he's so interesting.
No, Mo's amazing. I love Mo the character.
He's amazing.
Did you know that he has like his name in the show is what his real name is?
Oh right, something like what is it?
It's Mo Helps or Mo.
November.
No, it's not. It's not. I spent my mic.
Anyway,
no, because the. And I got an interesting fact about him actually. Mo Brings Plenty is his name. So he is indigenous Indian, obviously. So his name is Mo Brings Plenty. Like that's his surname is Brings Plenty. He is a descendant of one of the guys who was at the Battle of Little Bighorn, where like General Custer went up against the. Do you know anything about American history at all?
I studied it for 3 years, unfortunately. I know all about it. You're on about Geronimo. Is Mo a descendant of Geronimo?
No, not Geronimo. There was more than one chief at the Battle of Little Bighorn.
Oh, cool.
But there was like Crazy Horse, Sitting Bull. But yeah, there was another guy called I can't remember his first name, but he Brings Plenty, and Mo Brings Plenty is a descendant of him.
Ah. A couple of Yellowstone comments. Yeah, it's definitely worth watching, Nathan. It's cool. It's good.
Yes. It's great work. Periscope. Did you obviously have you played for Paramount Plus to watch it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just annoying that you have to pay for Amazon and then Paramount Plus.
Yeah, shit.
So
shit.
But Chris has just said, can we spin this into talking about the Apache? Can we?
No.
No?
No, we're talking about Yellowstone.
Are we not going to segue?
No.
Don't like a segue?
No, don't need to. We're sticking to our guns.
Your guns.
Yeah, my guns.
Yeah.
Well, let's start from the top.
Okay. So, top of the country or top of the tables?
Country.
Okay.
Well, both. North Prem North.
Okay. So, but are we gonna forget about Scotland, or are we gonna include?
No, we're gonna go Prem North, Prem South, Scotland.
Okay.
Because that's a Div 1. That's the highest, most northern Div 1.
All right. Just as long as we're on the right page.
Yeah, I know. I need to get that website fixed so it's all consistent. Manchester shutting out Tamworth. I think you're going to tell me that you expected this when I didn't.
Not a shutout. No, I didn't expect a shutout. I expected a convincing victory. I did not expect a shutout.
This tells us nothing about Tamworth, though.
No, exactly.
It just tells us that Manchester are going to fucking walk
the North. They're going to walk the North.
Walk the Prem North.
Yeah, it just tells us
anything about Tamworth.
Not a thing. It just tells us
now we're figuring out. Like now we've got to think, shit, where do they level?
Where do they sit against like Edinburgh and like because Edinburgh's now shown themselves to be a clear. Like, they haven't. They beat the Nighthawks. They got slapped by Manchester. So now it's like maybe the Nighthawks are just awful as well. But it's like, where does Tamworth stack up against Edinburgh? But like you say, this just tells us Manchester is gonna win. Yeah, are Manchester Titans the gravy atop the Prem?
Top of the Prem North.
But yeah,
they're the defending champions as well. So you can't say that they're not the best team in the country at the moment.
No, they are. Yeah, that's very true. There's nothing that we've seen.
Prove me wrong. To quote a friend of mine.
Yeah. Thanks. A friend.
It's the first time I've ever called you my friend.
The Prem de la Prem. I do like that.
They are. They are
until we see something different. They are the best team above the M25, and they are the best team, arguably the best team in the country.
Yeah. Well, that's their current title. They're the
champions. Yeah, defending champions. I heard Tamworth QB1 broke his ankle in quarter one. I would say irrelevant to me. That to me is it just means that I thought Manchester was going to win anyway. I thought they were going to win comfortably. That just means to me that it wouldn't have been a shutout, maybe.
Yeah.
So
I didn't expect a shutout win. I think it's a lovely, comfortable win for Manchester away as well. You know what I mean? Like to go and do that to Tamworth after the years and years. It's always been Tamworth are the team in the north.
Yeah. And if he's broken his ankle. Are Manchester just in cruise control for the rest of the regular season? There's no challenge.
I think that's a very dangerous mindset to have.
I get that. That's what I'm saying. 100%. I don't think they should be. I think that they should be, looking to blow them every team out of the water. They should be looking to refine it. Like, to me now, this becomes an elongated preseason. If I'm Tamworth, I'm looking to work on.
Now they know how the Warriors feel.
Yeah, not Tamworth. Sorry, Manchester. Like, if I'm Manchester now, this is now I can refine my playbook. I can get, like, if I've got any sort of athletically talented but not football talented rookies, I can get them up to speed. Like, the rest of this, like, I am now using this to prepare for playoffs. Like, there's no other team that's going to challenge me in this division. I am now refining to make sure that I go back to back. Back to back is all I'm worried about now. I don't give a shit about the rest of the thing.
When you're a championship team, though, it's like they've now got their mentality changes, and they now need to play to their level, not to the level of their opponents. They need to stay consistent. You're right. There's all these great opportunities to blood rookies and do other things as a coach, but it becomes a challenge of mental consistency. Obviously playbook. And
I'm using the reverse fixture, so the reverse Tamworth and the reverse Edinburgh. I'm using that to iron out any kinks in my starting O&D.
Yeah.
The other Merseyside and Leicester, that's when I'm blooding my rookies, when I'm playing my veterans who are in their last year, like that sort of shit. Like I'm doing it for the team against Merseyside and Leicester, but Edinburgh and Tamworth, I'm using it to fine tune my offense and defense and get me to a point where I can go back to back. Like, there is not anything that scares me in this division anymore if I'm the Manchester head coach.
Yep, fair enough. Prem South. Let's start with the Warriors and Kent. 70-0, 76. Sorry, they did get a 6.
I mean, good point. Not like good on you not getting shut out.
I don't know when it'd be good if they went 6-0 up.
Like, yeah,
I think we're looking at garbage time.
That happened like a year ago or 2 years, like maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
Kent did it a couple of times against the Blitz, and the Warriors went like 10-0 up against them,
and then got fucking ruined for the rest of it. Yeah. All I can say is, like, well done, not getting shut out. At the moment, you are going down. Like, that's all there is to it. Kent's going down.
I would say that's the way it looks.
Well, because Cambridge beat Solent.
Particularly by the next result in the press. Hold on, we had a few comments coming. Let's have a look. Phil's report this week will be on Kent versus London Warriors. Yeah, the Tebs is. We had this guy Phil that's joined. He started writing reports, but he goes to the games.
Oh, okay.
And Tebs, I think one of them checked with like the Warriors or the Exiles. If okay, we go and do that. And they thought we were going to live stream the game. We were like, no. So, like, on the day, we were like getting messages like, when are you guys turning up? And we're like, what are you talking about? Like, you told us you didn't want us to live stream your game. We would have live streamed the game. But we're in Oxford, which turned out to be a banger of a game, which I can't wait to get to. Anyway, so Tebs, Phil will be doing written reports, and this week's is Exiles versus Warriors. Simon said, tell Tebs to come out. Tebs isn't part of this show.
Tebs come out.
Come out. What is he? Yeah.
Well, Simon says. No, Simon says.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So Simon says, keep talking. I'm not coming out Wednesday.
Yeah. So he probably wants Tebs to go out on the piss on a Monday night.
Out.
So Nathan's wondering. He knows it's early, but Prem playoffs: Warriors versus Tamworth. Titans versus Aztecs.
You haven't seen the Aztecs play yet, Nathan?
Well, and I was also going to say, if Tamworth lost their QB1, how much better are they than Edinburgh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But Edinburgh may pip them to the playoffs. That'd be interesting.
We need to have a look on that one. And then Aztecs, like you say, we haven't seen the Aztecs play yet. All we've got is the Blitz.
My hype. And my hype's real. I love them.
But the big game from the Prem is Cambridgeshire Solent.
Unbelievable.
Cats came out when 45.
I don't know anything about the game though. Like
I know nothing. Okay, so we both picked the Thrashers to win it.
I know.
Based on what we'd seen in previous Cats performances, previous Thrashers performances. I got a text from a mate of mine who plays like either Div 1 or Prem, I can't remember, but he texted me, and it was the screenshot that I shared to you. And he texted me on the Saturday, and he's like, "I know you guys picked Thrashers to win. Don't be surprised if the Cats come out and win."
Yeah.
And I was like, "That's interesting." And he was like, "Yeah." He's like, he said it was all sort of penning around how much Huxtable played for the Cats. He's like,
exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Is the difference that Hux started or featured more in, is he, and is this because like he signed fairly close to the start of the season, right? So there's learning playbook and stuff. But I mean, he's a natural gifted athlete that is great at American football. So for me, he's someone you just need on the field at all times. Like if you're trying to win a game.
How did your linebacker mate, old fried rice, go?
Who?
Your linebacker mate who signed for like last week. We talked about him.
Fried rice.
What was his name? Like Nick Rice or something.
Oh, I don't know how he got on. He's not my mate. He's just someone I admire. He's like a good player.
Someone you admire. Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. And he signed for Nottingham, and they had a great win.
Okay, cool. But what does this mean for the rest of the division?
I believe it almost does it seal the fate? It doesn't look good for the Kent Exiles now.
No, that's the thing. I was going to say it's that
but
to
Thrashers, me. Is this a game that the Thrashers have walked away? I mean, they got beat by a 25-point margin, but did they walk away thinking we could have won that game?
So I was speaking to another mate who reckons there might be an exodus from Thrashers.
So yeah, I've heard this where I just knew one player that had gone to the Warriors from the Thrashers.
Yeah, I was told there's going to be more. I was told there's going to be more O-linemen going and a few other players heading that way.
What's this? Do you know?
It was just messaged to me, and he just said that the Thrashers are facing an exodus of players and they're heading up to London.
Fucking hell, man.
So
yeah, we'll see about that. I mean, we're live streaming a lot of their games. I think 4 out of 5 of their home games. So
it's spicy, man. It's spicy.
What's for tea? My missus lasagna. That's what I'm eating. Sorry,
I didn't have time to eat.
Huh?
Nothing.
I had time to eat.
You said, what did you say? Your missus what? Sorry.
Lasagna.
Oh, that's not what I heard. Maybe I need new headphones.
It wasn't a metaphor either.
I didn't know you could I just didn't know you could plate that up. I thought, she'd have to be here too.
But yeah. Well, I would say rather than that fixture, that result, having a huge impact on the league, maybe this news that you've got or what you've heard, people leaving the Thrashers might have a big difference as well. Because now, if you really want to see how Thrashers get on against the Exiles, right?
Yeah, 100%. It's because I'm just looking. I'm looking. I
knew that Ollie had gone to the Warriors. But that was a pre-season thing. That wasn't after game 1.
Yeah, so this was after game 1 or 2, and I was told it was O-line, not just Ollie.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, we'll see.
Could be very, very interesting at the bottom of the Prem South to see who falls back down.
Yeah. I mean, you have to say that the contenders are the Exiles, the Cats, and the Thrashers.
Well, I think this.
We wouldn't have said that 3 weeks ago. We were like, it's Thrashers Blitz. Who are the best out of those two?
But now to me, right? It's now like the way I think about it now is the change that we've seen from the Cats come through because of Huxtable. Yeah. And again, I don't know the guy. I've never even seen him play, but I'm box score scouting essentially when I say this. That the change that we've seen come through for the Cats with him. Are the Cats even worried about relegation?
Yeah, they have to worry about it. Yeah, of course. You'd be stupid not to.
I don't think they have to worry about Kent. I don't think
in any division you have to worry about.
Yeah, but I don't think they were worried about Kent anyway coming into this year.
I don't know. I don't think for sure until you start seeing the results rolling in.
Well, I've started to see the results coming in for Kent, and I'm not worried. We're 4 weeks in, and the writing's on the wall. Just up here, I've written Kent are going down.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a logical thing, but then it doesn't. I don't know. Yeah, there's still a lot of football to play, but I don't think things are shaping up as we had predicted in preseason. Huxtable's a great QB, all the scout. Yeah, he was at the Aztecs for me last year, Hux, and I'd seen him play on film before, but mate, he's just quality. Like he was running Wildcat, a couple of Wildcat plays. And he had like outside linebackers hitting him, and he was flooring them.
Are we off to Scotland?
Hey,
are we off to Scotland now?
Why?
Well, because I feel like we've touched enough on this game, and then
yeah. Too early to call. Look at Pete. Too early to call anything. Teams have upswings and downswings. Yeah, they do. Pete.
But
Jones,
sometimes when you're a bad team, your upswing just isn't. When you're a bad team, your upswing just isn't as high as everybody else's.
When you're what?
When you're a bad team in comparison to the rest of your division, your upswing just isn't as high as everybody else's.
Yeah, that's right. That's footballer played with many moons ago. When he has season, yeah, he's quality, lovely guy too. Right, let's go. Let's move on to the Scottish NFC 1.
Perfect.
No surprises here, are there? 60 points on and a shutout for the Blackhawks over the Kings.
And we continue to ask it: do the Kings score a point this season?
Their best chance of scoring a point's got to be against the Goliaths. I think the Roughnecks will turn them over, and everyone else will.
Because this is now. I've stopped asking who wins. Whenever the Kings come up now, I ask, do the Kings score a point? That is my question. It is a foregone conclusion the Kings are not winning a game this year.
Yeah.
For me, anyway. For me,
they've had it rough by just being put into a Div 1. You know, put up into a.
I know they struggled to score points last year in Div 2.
Yeah.
So
and they're with every single one of those teams there. Maybe the Goliaths should say they're more of a strong Div 2 than a weak Div 1 team.
I would say the Blackhawks are a strong Div 2 than a weak Div 1.
No, I wouldn't. I'd have them as Div 1. I'd have them in there.
I mean,
clearly don't agree.
They went 2-5 last year in a Div 2.
Yeah, I know,
and the only 2 wins that they got were against Dunfermline.
Yeah.
So no, they are a Div 2 team to a weak Div 1.
Okay, well that sort of highlights the difference, I suppose. Then as well, if they're
Dunfermline scored in Div 2, essentially, but the Div they were in last year was the Stags, the Roughnecks, the Hunters, the Blackhawks, and the Kings. Right, that was the Div they were in last year. Kings scored 14 points last year. They played 8 games.
Yeah,
what's that like? Fucking 1.6 points per game, give or take.
Yeah. It's not. Yeah, they're not going to. Well, I suppose. Yeah, against the Blackhawks, that's one of the teams that they should.
1.75.
That's one of the teams they should be
scoring
at least
points,
competing with, right?
And they got
62-0 smashed.
Who scores a point first? Because has Torbay been shut out? Yes, you did. Eddie. Sorry,
you can click back and have a listen if you want.
Did Torbay get shut out? No, they scored 2 points against Swindon. Okay, there we go. Torbay got the fucking. We'll get to that game because it's way down the bottom. But I was gonna say, who scores first, Torbay or Dunfermline? Yeah. Torbay with the safety, probably a bad snap.
Who scores first, Dunfermline or Tamworth?
Well, Tamworth next week or whenever they play next, 100%. 100%. I mean, Tamworth didn't score because they played Manchester. Dunfermline played Clyde Valley and lost 62-0.
Tony's saying, if Stags win it and get to Prem, do you think they will get promoted to the league? Are you talking? Is this with reference to the fact that they're so far away from everyone, Tony?
No, but I think it's in reference to the fact that it looks like that it might not be EKP or Edinburgh that comes down. Because if it was EKP or Edinburgh that came down, they could just slot straight into Scotland. But EKP and Edinburgh both look like they will stay in the Prem.
Yeah.
Which will leave it with Leicester.
The Scottish, yeah.
Exactly. So it leaves you with either Leicester or Merseyside that's coming down, and you're not going to slot either Leicester, especially not Leicester. Even Merseyside is a fucking. I know, right? Even Merseyside is a trip and a half up to Scotland. Like even if you're going through Cumbria.
Yeah. So, really far. Yeah. Well, I think you are looking at a restructuring. Then
I suppose it's a good thing that it's not our fucking problem.
Yeah. I don't even have to think about it.
Steve just needs to figure out how to get it on the website. And he can't even do that. Let alone actually restructure the divisions themselves.
Okay, so so really no surprises there, but like lurking doom or continued doom for the Kings. And that's a funny thing, Tony. Maybe they just don't have a relegation out of that league. The Kings are just stuck there.
Oh God, that's the thing. It's like if the Stags go up and the Kings go down because they're in a Div 1. So it's like you lose one from each.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
because who would come?
You lose one from each, and no one else is there to join.
I was going to say
because there's no one coming down and no one coming up from Div 2 into that.
Are the Hunters still around, or did they?
I think they might be associate.
I think they got dusted, didn't they? I think I asked this question.
I heard today the Lightning of even though they're an associate, they've now just disappeared. And they've like folded. But it's unconfirmed. But
so sad.
Someone told me about it today.
So sad.
Hunters folded. Cheers, Tony.
Yeah, there we go. So Dumfries is in the wind. So it's I don't know. It'll be very, very interesting.
Good problem for someone else to sort out. And that's the last.
Tony, you're asking questions.
I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until they've got it all sorted. Then I'm going to criticize it.
And 100%. That's all we do. We just bitch. Wow. That's a rough place.
It's so much better if it was me.
That's such a hard place to travel for Northumberland to get to. Waiting for the Carlisle Kestrels or whatever the fuck they were to come back.
Kestrels fly in and save the day.
Yeah.
Right, let's move on. Roughnecks 6, Stags 20. I think that's roughly around the score we were sort of expecting, right?
I was expecting the Stags to win. So I thought it was going to be a comfortable win. And then Tom Hutchison put me in my place and said, no, the last time they played, Stags won 6-0. It will be closer. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to take your word for it because you're, actually at the games. You know how good your team is and how good the opponents are. So nobody cried when the Titan Bees folded.
Not many people knew about the Titan Bees because it was never a public thing. It's only ever been behind the scenes and people sort of knowing about it and talking about it.
It was just the fact that the Titans had a lot of fucking players.
They never went public with it or anything.
Yeah.
It just folded. But there was a lot of I don't know how else to put it, but stories about people being mistreated and it not being a very well-run entity, which is shocking from Manchester because they're such their whole club top to bottom are awesome. So I just sort of we never entertained any of that sort of conversation in any shows or in any articles because it was all of it was just
it's all hearsay. It's all hearsay.
She said. We just sort of left it, but yeah. But it pops up all the time. People always mention the Bees. And they also had a quality name, the Manchester Bees, because obviously Manchester is synonymous with the whole Manchester Bee emblem. It was you don't know that the Bee logo, and someone can probably tell me why. I don't know why, but I remember when Ariana Grande had a couple of kids or one or two kids die at one of her concerts. After the
bombing
episode.
Wasn't there a bomb?
No, it was a bomb, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The B logo was used in all of the remembrance things, and
Oh right, okay.
I assume it came before that, but that's when it sort of became very prominent, and I became aware of it, and I've noticed it in multiple things since. So it was a brilliant name for a team, local to the area. They used to have the Heathrow Jets,
right?
The Staines Removers was probably the best one.
Staines Removers. Okay, I like that.
Yeah. So that was so cool about it. It was had multiple meanings. The Manchester Bees, and it just didn't.
We talked about South Links folding, and you're right. No one cares. So if anything,
it was announced. Cool.
Yeah.
But so
it just means that we can no longer boo them for being such a shit run club. It's just.
So Brian said thinks it's because of the worker bees meant to be about the people of Manchester grafters. Okay,
I don't want to talk about Manx anymore. Like they're
annoying. We've finished it. I knew someone would come up and tell us.
Yeah, well, good. We can move on. No longer are we going to talk about that area of the country until we get to the Wolverines.
Right. Glasgow 40, Goliaths 0. I don't think I was expecting a shutout here and such a large margin.
I didn't even know this game was happening. We didn't have it listed on our.
No, we had it as the week before because Baffa changed it and stitched us up.
Right.
But yeah, we didn't do any predictions on it, you and I. But by the time
you asked me in the chat, and I said probably the Tigers, and then
Sean, they were already 20-0 up.
Sean or Chris popped up and they're 26-0 up. So
good call.
Yeah.
So yeah. What do you know? Not much to say about that other than it's clear the Tigers have
have they played Highland
their
yet?
Quality? Sorry,
have they played the Stags yet? Tom, have you played the Glasgow yet? That will be a good game.
Yeah.
So Tom popped up and mentioned that Aberdeen have improved this year. That the Highland Stags have had a hard two first teams to start their season, and that they'll. That Aberdeen's had a hard two teams to start their season. So I'm assuming they played Glasgow first and then played.
They played
the Stags.
They play week 8, May 28th.
That'll be a good game.
Glasgow at home.
Yeah, that'll be a good game.
And then they only play once. No way.
Yeah.
Shit, innit?
I feel like that could be the game that decides the top of the table.
That's a shame. You want the
reverse fixture.
You want two of them.
100%. I can't. That's really like the fact that we have Dunfermline just playing games in general, and we can't afford to give Glasgow and Highland like an extra game.
Yeah. Let's give the Kings a week off.
Yeah, 100%. Well, okay.
No one will notice.
Well, the scoreboard won't. The scoreboard fucking won't. In the Kings' defense, I'm looking at the results after the past 2 seasons. I feel like they haven't played a game in 2 years.
Yeah.
Tom says they do. We have got a reverse fixture.
Oh, okay.
You're just blind.
I didn't see it on the list.
Yeah, you're just blind. Yeah, but you haven't got Scotland properly plugged into the website
2nd
anyway.
of July. No, we don't have it.
Yeah, exactly. So
I don't have it. Sorry. I'll put it in there.
But can we still just scrap the Kings for a third game, tiebreaker game, just in case?
Yeah. Best of 3.
Best of 3. Best of 5. Fuck it.
Best
Kings
of
play
5.
no more.
Sorry. Okay, so let's move on. NFC 1 South. Chester Romans 26, Birmingham Bulls 14.
We both picked the Romans in this one.
Yeah.
Is this the hot cold Bulls that we're seeing now? Is this the hot cold Bulls that we're now seeing?
No, I don't think so. I think we've got some nice lukewarm Bulls.
Statements I never thought I would hear.
They're nice lukewarm Bulls.
Because they played last week and it was 6-all tie.
Have you seen pictures of that game?
In the mud slop.
Just literally all players covered head to toe in mud.
Yeah.
All stood up.
It looked like they were playing
with their feet underneath them, stood up straight. That's what, no one in a leverage position because they don't want to have their fucking legs falling out from underneath.
It looked like it honestly. It looked like they were playing in a bowl of goulash. Yeah, it was horrendous.
But I don't know how much better the pitch was this week. I assume Chester's got obviously a much nicer pitch, but it's I don't think this result means the Bulls have gone. They're in a trough again, if you like. I think they're doing well. I think they might even build further momentum as the season goes on. I think they're in a good place.
So this is more based around the quality that the Romans are, rather than saying that the Bulls might have fallen off.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. I feel that.
This next one is one of the biggest statement wins in the country, I think, of the week. Nottingham Seasons 38, Sheffield Giants 0.
Yeah,
that's big.
That is very big.
I watched the Giants. Play the Knights. Good team.
Yeah,
really good team. And for them to get shut out.
And we both picked the Caesars on this one, so you can celebrate, pat yourself on the back.
What was that?
We both picked Nottingham, the Caesars to win.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Cool. I think I got the most right,
mate. I think because you picked the spread in the Olympians game, and I think they're covered.
No, is that Wembley?
No,
I also picked Wembley.
Oh, you did also pick Wembley, yeah.
So get fucked. I was the only one to pick Wembley as well. But anyway, that's the next game. But yeah, I want to talk a little bit more about Nottingham. They've obviously recruited well. Good to see them doing live streams. Their social media has been good. I know you don't care so much about these things, but I think it's part of the package of a club and what attracts people to it. Awesome. I think that's the team on the up. I think they're one to watch out. They're one to watch for the season.
Do you think they benefit from having a really strong and prominent uni program in the same region from them?
They now play at Nottingham Uni.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Do you think? Yeah, so you think the turnabout, because obviously Nottingham Uni has been a really strong uni program for a number of years. Yeah, was it green and gold or some shit like that?
Yeah.
And then I think as a goal
won't go anywhere near Div 1 Britball, Summer Ball.
No, because they're all playing for.
But the green players, there should be a lot, a handful of them, maybe 7, 8 interested in playing if they're staying local. The facilities will attract players as well.
Well, that was sort of the question I'm going at, sort of driving at with. It's sort of the osmosis effect that you're not going to grab the best players because they're going to want to go play Prem ball and play for for Manchester or travel south to London or piss off and play in Europe.
Don't forget Bristol. They could go to Bristol easily.
They could easily go to Bristol. It's just a long way to go from Nottingham.
It doesn't matter. We had one last year and he was awesome.
Oh, you had one. you had a singular.
Well, this year we might have 3. So
I'll tell you what. So one can go from Nottingham, and then the other 50 or whatever that's still there can spread their way around.
But yeah, I think Nottingham are a team and an organisation on the up, and this is a great statement win. That's a big win. Like I genuinely think
Sheffield are a well-established Div 1. Sheffield are a well-established Div 1 team.
Yeah. Well, no, they were a Prem team for.
I was going to say they were a Prem team last year, weren't they? They
for a number of years. Yeah.
It was them and
so they got relegated.
They struggled last year though, like badly.
They did, but this year, so I see them. I was chatting to a couple of them. They've got more players than they had last year. They've got more coaches. Like they've had a nice reinvigoration. I think they're a buoyant club at the moment. They're not a club that's being pounded down. Like they're a good club, and this is a big win against them.
But there's always a common fallacy whenever people say, "Oh, we've got more players coming in." That doesn't necessarily mean your team's getting better.
No, I didn't mean that. I just meant it's. So you can imagine what a team that's going for a relegation, what struggles they have with commitment and shit happening behind the scenes. All of that stuff's gone, they're reinvigorated. They've got more people in, and people staying around, and attendances are high, and
it can also mean like where they are is like a heart of Div 1, Div 2, right? There is a lot of in that general area. There's a lot of 1 Div 2 teams around there. You've got the Yorkshire Rams. You used to have the Leeds Bobcats before they folded. The Mustangs are around there. You've got Wakefield. Like there's a lot of teams in and around there that are of like a fringe Div 1, Div 2 sort of like York. The Rams are different teams that sort of hang around the Div 1, Div 2 border. So what happens when Sheffield come down now, and then they're reinvigorated by a lot of bodies that would not have gone to Sheffield historically because they were in the Prem and they would have got no game time, or they would have got this, or they would have got that. Like, wouldn't have never got to play. And then they're like, wow, I'm an average level player. They're now in Div 1. I can play Div 1 ball. I've spent a time playing Div 1 ball. So what if the bodies that are coming in are of a lesser quality compared to the play? Because when you get relegated, you do lose players because there's a lot of people that play for teams, especially at Prem level, who want to keep playing Prem level, and they go looking elsewhere. It's what happens. Or if you're at Div 1, you get relegated down to Div 2. There are players who are above a standard of Div 2. They go looking elsewhere.
Yeah.
Like, and I wonder if that writing's kind of on the wall with Solent at the moment, where they've started to struggle, and players are like, "Well, I'm going to go to the Warriors before you get relegated, and we're not going to have to deal with relegation." But again, that was what we talked about earlier on.
That remains to be seen.
But what if the players that have left and then have been replaced by more players that are just not as good, and now we're just stuck with Sheffield being middle of Div 1?
Yeah, and like I said, I wasn't talking to. Well, I know I did see them on the field, and they were decent, right? But it was more about like the optimism around a more newly formed team, group of people that come together and want and more newly formed than the team of people that have been dragged down and are trying to now lift themselves back up again. So there's a lot of new faces there, I was told. So yeah,
not always a good thing.
I think I expected them to do better against Nottingham, and that's not. For me, that's a plus for Nottingham rather than a negative for Sheffield. I think Nottingham.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't want to focus this all on Sheffield. Like, this is big for Nottingham. Like, this is real big for Nottingham.
Yeah.
So
right, let's move on to the Stallions Hornets. SFC1 Central.
So I take a small victory out of this because I predicted the Stallions and the Hornets as the top two teams at the end of the year. And so I thought they would be the two teams that topped the division.
Right. What's that got? What you got? That
so
one shut the other out.
Yeah, I know, but the Hornets have still played really well this year. So I have hope that they can still both finish, top.
That's a weak statement. You lost.
I did. I picked the Hornets, and I played for the Hornets. I played all 60 minutes, so I lost. I was on the field the entire time.
You lost the prediction.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I don't know how I'm going to financially recover from this.
No. But yeah, just I think that's again another statement win. 26-0
big one
against like you say, two teams that are going to be they are ending up top half of the table, right?
And these are two teams that sort of slugged it out last year for a playoff position again last year.
Yes,
like right at the end. And I think they may have split the series against each other last year.
Right.
So it is going to be just nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, I don't know when
they both went 10-7 last year. The Cats won the division. Cats went 10-8 and won the division. So
no, that's
nuts.
Not 10-8. 10-7. No.
8-2.
You mean 8-2,
7-3.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm looking at games played and wins. Yeah. I was thinking NFL. NFL plays 17 games. What can I say? Wembley Stallions went 7-3. Hornets went 7-3. And the Cats went 8-2. Yeah, so the Blitz beat the Stallions, who beat the Hornets, who beat the Blitz.
Yeah,
that's the point that I was making. Like, because I remembered the Stallions had played a couple of weeks back or a week back and had lost to the Blitz, and then I remembered the Hornets had beaten the Blitz. So I was like, wow, based on that. But I forgot this is how Britball works. You beat A beats B, B beats C, C beats A. That's how it always works.
We've got here. I think with this game, the reverse fixture. You still could go either way. That's the type of.
I think I'd probably take the Hornets in the reverse fixture just to have them split the series.
It's good. It's job well done for now for Wembley, but you've still got to play them again, and you could lose. You could lose by the same margin. Like it's that much of a knife edge.
And the rest of your division is an absolute slugfest.
Yeah, I love it. This is the best division, I think.
Yeah.
The next game, so again, I won prediction wise.
You called this. You got the spread as well because it was. I didn't care about the prediction. It was the spread. You picked.
I remember this. What did I say? 7.
You picked O's. You picked O's minus 14.
Did I?
Yeah. Yeah. So I made you give a spread. I made you give us, which I'm going to continue
to
do.
For worth at least 3 wins.
Well, no, it's just worth 1 because that was all it was. Which I'm going to make you do for all O's games. So the Hornets didn't show up with a lot of players. So there we go. Maybe the Hornets will only show up for the return fixture. That's weird to me, though.
Their players only show up to play at home.
But that's weird to me, though, because Wembley is essentially still a fucking home game. Like the Hornets and Wembley can't be too far.
London.
Yeah, that's weird. Teams. It must just be bank holiday weekend, like
So the Hornets to beat the Blitz. Yeah.
They just weren't in a fit state to play because it was a bank holiday weekend. Big night out at Camden Yards.
Okay, what does this tell you? Does this tell you anything about Norwich?
They're struggling.
Is that struggling?
Well, I don't rate the O's, so yeah, because they lost to the Hornets as well. So at the moment, I think they've played 2, lost 2.
Let me have a look. Let me look at my unreliable website.
Oh no, because
they're 0-2.
Yeah, 0-2.
But Essex Spartans are 0. Essex Spartans are 0-2 because they've got a -60 differential.
Yeah. So it's just where do the because the Devils came up from Div 2. They essentially kind of got promoted, but I think the Spartans did too, like with the reshuffle.
Yeah.
So it just depends.
It looks like it's going to be those two in the bottom.
Battling for to stay safe. Yeah, I mean, there we go. Spartans and Devils play this week, so this is the week that we figure out where the standings are, I suppose.
Yeah, you're going to say that every week, though.
Well, no, it's because I have to say it at the moment because we're 4 weeks into the season, but we've had some teams that haven't played at all yet. We've had some teams that have played once, and we've had some teams that have played twice. Yeah, so until we start to get it's probably going to have to be like week 6 before we actually get a proper picture of where people
that's a good point.
Sort of stand.
Yeah, we said 3 weeks in, but it's more 3 games in.
It's 3 games in. You need to have sort of a clear picture at 3 games in. And at the time when some teams are 3 games in, other teams might be fucking 5 games in for all we know.
Yeah.
It's just bad for schedule making, man.
So the next one was down to the SFC 1 West. This is the game we live streamed. Go and watch it if you haven't yet. It was the Oxford Saints versus the Bristol Apache. The Apache won 33-27. It was such a good game.
Mate, I have to ask.
It was brilliant.
Does this say more? Because I don't rate Oxford. I haven't.
I know you don't, and it's annoying because they're like, I think they're the team that we're going to end up live streaming the most games for. And I feel I've always liked them anyway, but I think I've got a soft spot for them. And I tried to stay neutral when I'm watching these games, but I was cheering on Oxford when it looked like they did come back, and then obviously Apache.
Are you allowed to be cheering on Oxford, seeing as you're like part of the Bristol,
obviously
you're part of like the Bristol board, like aren't you? You're that tied into Bristol as a club. You're like a founding member, part of the board. I think you're in the Ring of Honor.
Without me, they wouldn't exist. Yeah,
no, 100%. So are you even allowed to look at other teams?
The thing is, it was. I think what I got really caught up in it because it was amazing watching it. Right, they went 2 scores down, and then they sort of turned a corner and started connecting stuff. Their defense played great all game, and it was like, they're frustrating the opposition here. They were getting tons of turnovers, and it just felt like one of those underdog wins that you see. I was like, this is happening, and I just got really excited by it, I wasn't disappointed that at the end of the game. I wasn't like a fan of Oxford to any extent, I suppose. Like I wasn't a spectator fan, but I was really pleased at the end of it, just that we'd live streamed a really good game. But to sort of summarize it, I think the Oxford defense were just so good at getting the ball, giving their offense a lot of chances. The offense was sort of hot and cold. And like I think in the 4th quarter, I don't think they even got a first down without the aid of a penalty. So that was tough to watch. And that was when Bristol came in and scored everything. But there was one play in particular that sort of for me was the turning point, and it was a defensive play when I think they just made. I think Oxford sacked. It may be a sack turnover or just a nice sack in the backfield. And then number 70, one of their D linemen, throws one of the Apache on the floor, draws 2 15-yarders, and the ball goes from midfield to halfway.
How did he draw 2 15-yarders?
They were, I don't know, they were concurrent. I don't know what they were for.
I'm assuming one of them's roughing the passer or unsportsmanlike conduct.
No, he wasn't near the passer.
Okay,
so
I'm assuming
it might be that one was during the play and then one was after.
And then back chatting afterwards.
Yeah, I don't know. It's all on film. I haven't gone back and watched it, but I was watching it and I was like like if I was the coach, I'd have just told him to fuck off home.
Yeah,
like you're done. Or if I was a player, I'd have been going nuts at him, right? Because he gave them a short field, they then scored, and then
this is why you don't coach and you don't play anymore.
Game, eh?
This is why you're not a coach and you don't play anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Because when one player loses their cool, the last thing you need is everybody else losing their cool at the person who lost their cool.
No one said anything to him, and I was just watching him, thinking, "You're not even sorry. You're not like."
Mate, you have a quiet word. You have a quiet word. The last thing you need is
nothing was said
because
to him.
if that sort of person, yeah. So there we go. Unnecessary roughness.
Michael, I should have known Mike was there.
Unsportsmanlike conduct for comments made after the first flag. Yeah. So if you've got the sort of person that's going to go like after the whistle, away from the ball, start hitting somebody on the ground, that person is not going to respond well if you get in their face and start shouting at them.
Bristol's kicker was good. So was Oxford's kicker.
Mate, you would have been stoked to see a good game of kicking.
It was good. It was good.
You love a good.
Go and watch it. It was honestly like you didn't know. Obviously, you know the score now, but you could watch.
I don't want to watch it. I don't want anything. I don't want anything to cloud my preconceived notions about Oxford. Right. I don't want to have to second guess my takes.
Well, yeah, like for me, the turning point in that game and where Oxford lost it, or where, however you want to look at it, where the momentum shifted into Apache's favour and they started, getting the better of Oxford, it was on that play, because heads dropped. It was just like, what the fuck are you doing this for? It was, oh mate, so frustrating that one player making that much of a difference, negative difference or positive. It depends how you look at it. We gave MVP to Ed Green. Apache gave theirs to their kicker. I don't know who Ed Green is.
He's the groundsman.
Edward Greenfingers.
Yeah.
Right. Greenhand.
Greenhand.
Right, let's keep going.
Ed's mowing.
Bournemouth Bobcats 7. South Wales Warriors 13.
This is a
good one.
This is what made me go.
Yeah, I think there's a ton. I need to look at the league. I think there's a ton of one-on-one teams.
Can we get some excuses in the chat for Bournemouth, please? I know we usually have some. We have a good Bournemouth contingent. So can we get the excuses in the chat for Bournemouth? Because I need to know what the fuck happened. Like, what? I mean, we talked about this coming into the game. We said we had no idea where South Wales sits in the hierarchy because you've got Bournemouth, comfortably beaten Rushmore, and then you've got Hertfordshire, and it looked like it was all going to be Hertfordshire and Bournemouth at the top, with Rushmore in the middle, and then that we're going to have Oxford at the bottom.
Who have got? Oh my God, knobhead. Let me just ban him.
Bye, Joe. But I need to know what's happened for South Wales because they were not a strong team last season.
Yeah,
like they weren't. They struggled last season. So I assumed that they would probably be struggling again coming into this season. They've come in, and Bournemouth have been on fire to start with for the start of the season.
Yeah.
And it's not exactly, I wouldn't go out and say it's a handling, but Bournemouth's what we thought was their high-powered offense that came out and was on fire against Rushmore, 7 points.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if you look at that, you've got, so as it stands now, obviously there's not been an equal number of games played, so it's skewed, of course. But you've got Hertfordshire, South Wales, Rushmore, Bournemouth, Bristol, Oxford. Like, I just and I'm hoping that based on what I've seen from Oxford, they're just going to keep getting better and get a couple of wins this year. It's such a tight division.
Like I look at it and we need more games. We're 4 weeks in and we've still only got this is the first game that South Wales has played. It's a little bit painful.
Yeah.
Because I would love for us to be 4 games in at this point for each, but obviously with the refs and everything like that, it's just not possible for us to have everybody play every week. I get that, but I have no idea where to go with this division now. Like, I'm going to run with what I said at the start of the season because nothing has changed to show me any difference, really. and that's that I still think Hertfordshire are the best team in the division.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think. But after that, I don't know. Like, it just becomes a bit of a mess.
I've not seen... So, I've seen 3 of these 6 teams play, and I will see the other 3 because we're live streaming all of them at some point. But I would say Hertfordshire are the strongest, and it felt like they were just getting going anyway. Like, I think they're going to continue to improve, and I think they will have a great season. But yeah, it's the whole like any given Sunday element to this whole division, which is awesome.
Which it's mate, honestly, it's both Div 1 divisions in the south.
Yeah,
like
that's where the action is.
You think about those 12 teams.
Yeah,
in Div 1 in the south. It's just a bloodbath.
Yeah, it's awesome. No, yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, that's exactly right. I was also going to say NFC 1 South, but a little bit more obvious there.
Well, we haven't seen Samwell play yet either, so they haven't played.
Yeah, I'm hoping they're a surprise package, but I don't think
Anthony's just said Samwell's first game in 2 weeks, so you're gonna be 6 weeks in before you play your first game.
It's the same with Bristol Aztecs. Their first week is.
How are you playing your first game in 6 weeks in?
So I imagine both teams asked for it. I know that the Aztecs did because so many of their players were going to be in the finals for the Uniball, and then it was like it gives the team has to sort of start preseason at that point properly.
Right, okay.
So I don't know what Samwell's excuse is, but sometimes it happens with like home grounds aren't available for some teams until like the rugby season or the soccer seasons are finished.
Right.
So I know that's the case for Hertfordshire, for example.
Wild.
So they typically play away games, but they had to play a home game, so they used Hearts Uni 2 weeks ago.
So Jack has mentioned that it feels like a massive positive step for Britball in general to have such fair competition.
Yes.
I would agree. And do we think it has anything to do with the reshuffle? Does it look like Baffa's got it right with the reshuffle?
Yeah, that's one thing they did. But I'd say it's more to do with the fact that the teams that the standards have been raised by Baffa for numbers of players, for number of coaches, number of qualified coaches.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's, and you've seen teams fall down for it, but other teams are getting better and getting stronger as well. So I think it's a standards that have been raised by the governing body.
Because it's if we look at it, last year was an absolute shit show with it geographical divisions. Was it last year or 2 years ago?
Oh no, you're talking about 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah, but that was
ago,
sorry.
But even last year, it felt like we still had massive disparity. We had haves and have-nots, and it just feels like this year the reshuffle has just cleaned it up a little bit. Like
in the south, yeah. But we just talked about the Div 1 Scottish and the disparity.
Well, that's just because Dunfermline exists. Like Aberdeen is 0-2, but they have they've been hard fought in their 0-2.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different. Whereas it's just the fact that Dunfermline exists and they're 3 games, 122 points down.
But yeah,
I wonder if they can beat their fucking last year's, like they were like negative 350 or some shit across their.
Is that what you want them to do?
Yeah. So they have to beat their 14.4 is what they. Fuck me.
All right, let's finish off these last
8 games,
5 games.
Come on.
SFC 2 Central, Torbay Trojans 2, Swindon Storm 39.
So we both had the Storm winning this because I don't think Torbay are any good at all.
Who are your favourites, if that's the right word? Who do you think are the most likely teams to drop off this season, if any?
Torbay, Dunfermline.
I baited you there, obviously. Yeah, Dunfermline.
Yeah, Torbay, Dunfermline, Sussex.
Mm.
Let me just have a quick look through. I think Donny.
What about the Exiles?
Well, I think it's fucking criminal if a Prem team folds.
Yeah.
Like it's if a Prem team folds, like, because what is the rule on folding?
If you fold, you're in associate. So if you forfeit a game, the rules are no longer published. The rules are now it's a call made by the league, but they have been pretty. They've run pretty true to the previous rule, which was yellow card, red card, 1 forfeit, 2 forfeits.
Okay, because I think if a Prem team, if you fold, you need to disband the organization.
Why? Why is that good for the game?
It's because if you cannot stay together as a Prem team,
seen this.
That's only 2 years. That's only 2 years. I still remember when Maidstone Pumas had like 6 years, like a 6-year losing streak. So, and then the only team, and then they broke the losing streak by beating Hastings. Like it was just. No, I think if you are a Prem organization, I think that's just in comment to me saying that Sussex could fold.
It is. I don't know why do people put to be fair? Why not just say what you think?
Yeah. You don't have to say to be fair. Like you can just say, "Oh, you're a dick." It's harsh. It's just. Why do I think Sussex might fold? Because they were woeful last year and they folded. And then they started poorly this year. And looking at that division, like they are struggling in what I think is a weak division.
Right.
And they're struggling in it. So I look at that and I'm like, well, do they just throw in the towel? And then Torbay, so Torbay will keep going. They're a tough and determined bunch and they never forfeit. Awesome. You've scored 4 points. Like, it's just, I don't know.
Hey, to be fair to them, they kept going last year when even I was saying, like, oh, they got a fold, and they like, it's just a joke.
Mate, okay, I'm just looking. Torbay have played 2 games this year, right? They've scored 6 points. I'm going to blow your fucking mind. They've not kicked a field goal. And they've not scored a touchdown.
3 safeties.
Torbay in their first game scored 4 points, and their second game scored 2.
And they're probably all bad snaps.
Yeah, bad snaps.
They were own goals.
Yeah, they're essentially they've scored 6 points in own goals. What the legitimate fuck? Like,
that's funny.
Okay, what happens first? Dunfermline scores any points, or Torbay scores offensive points?
Jack said 4 of those points are me giving up.
Yeah, so that's yeah. So Toby's right. Their punter is amazing because he's
going to score a touchdown first, Dunfermline or
Torbay. I'd say probably Torbay, to be honest. Dunfermline just makes me sad. So I'm going to agree with Toby. Their punter has got to be amazing because he's pinning these teams deep, so these bad snaps are going out the end zone. So at this moment, their punter's fucking all pro.
Yeah, and they're gunners. They got great people fielding.
Like
they love pressure teams down there.
Yeah, their punt unit is just like Prem level. And then there we go. Didn't count this season's games. Make that 19-game losing streak.
Wow. Okay, let's move on then. Ouse Valley Eagles 27, Hereford Stampede 34. Someone said they were looking forward to seeing what we have to say about this. I don't have much to say because I don't know about the teams. I think I went for Hereford, didn't I?
We both did. We both picked Hereford. I think Hereford are looking good. I think you have completely. You said this last week though. That could be why they were asking for news on the Hereford game is because preseason you were like anti-Hereford.
I was. I still am. I still don't like. I'm anti-Hereford in terms of. I don't like the way they conducted themselves and forfeited games and stitched people up. Right, like that's bullshit that shouldn't be in the game. So that's why I don't like them. But I know they've got a good team because I know some of the players that have gone there. Which is cool.
So Hereford was down 27-6 at the half.
Wow.
How do you give up 28 unanswered points?
I don't know.
How do you as a competitive outfit, how do you give up 28 unanswered points? That's 4 touchdowns. It's 4 touchdowns with an XP each time, yeah.
Fucking hell. 4 unanswered. That's amazing.
All the Eagles RBs got injured. Awesome. I didn't know their RBs were playing defense. Like, I'm glad that their running backs were out there, stopping the opposition's running back. Like, what? How does your running backs getting injured mean that your opponent's running 4 unanswered?
Well, because you can't score, and then if the team can't score, then they get scored on.
I get it. I get what you're getting at, like the momentum shift, short fields, things like that. Big. Yeah. It's okay. Losing all your running backs, it doesn't stop your defense being shithouse, though.
No, but if your defense
can get tired,
are constantly on the field, it's demoralizing.
Still, 4 in a row. That's. I mean, great from Hereford to turn around and be able to stop the pass. Like that's the other thing that we have to look at. It's. There we go. 2 punt returns. Yeah, punt returns. I love it. Okay. Can we link up Ouse Valley and Torbay, get them in contact about, like, can we get the punt unit from Torbay up to Ouse Valley? Because that wouldn't have happened if they had Torbay's punt unit.
Right, let's move on. Again, another statement win. East Kent Mavericks, we're in the South, SFC2 East. Mm-hmm. East Kent Mavericks 38, Ipswich Cardinals 0.
Yeah, I don't like the Cardinals, so I haven't for a couple of years, and so I'm glad. Well done, Mavericks.
So Mavericks, you're cool with that, but again, Mavericks continue to win. I think they're the team to beat in that.
Well, this sort of, yes, I would agree with that actually. Just because for some reason my brain was like, aren't they in the same division as Somerset? And I was like, no, that's opposite sides of the country. They definitely cannot be. I would agree that they are the team to beat in that. Torbay have a new punter this year, pinned 3 punts on like the 2.
He might be the player of the year for Britball.
Mate, honestly, if he does not win player of the year,
if all they're scoring is 2 points, he's getting all their points.
Mate, go on, son. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it.
Right. Colchester Gladiators 20, Sussex Thunder 8.
Oh, Sussex, what are you doing? Oh, you come into the chat last week, right? You called the game at 3/4. The game was called 3/4 in. Sussex were losing. The game was called 3/4 in.
Isn't that a weather? Wasn't that the Thunder?
Yeah. So there was thunder around. So the game was called 3/4 in. I said that I thought Colchester would score more points in the 4th quarter, and the game was not going to get any closer. I said last week that I thought Sussex was bad. They would have lost by more. They were not a good outfit, and I got shit for it. Right? People were like, "We've got the return fixture next week. Just you wait and see." Oh, you fucking proved me wrong. Jesus Christ! Right.
Last one. SFC2
Colchester beat them by 12 last week, and they beat them by. It's the exact same fucking scoreline.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
it's the exact same scoreline. Okay, so well done. You did. You did prove me wrong. They weren't going to score any more points in the 4th quarter. They were going to beat you 20 points to 8.
They told you.
Oh, I feel so told.
Last one.
How dare I think Sussex was going to... Oh, God.
SFC2 West, Berkshire Renegades 0, Somerset Wyverns 31. I was like, right. I think that's what we predicted.
I think the Wyverns are clear favourites in that division.
What were the so how many did we get wrong?
But that's a cross div. That's a cross div game.
Yeah, the last 2 that is a cross div. There was another cross div game too.
Was it Ooze?
I can't remember. I haven't got it in front of me. I don't know. I've got it. Hold on, let me find it.
It would have been
I've got it on the website on Facebook. Let me just check. So cross conference were Berkshire Renegades and Torbay Trojans versus Swindon Storm.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So that's painful for Torbay because that was a cross conference, and then the other
one
was Berkshire and Somerset. So Somerset is the best team in their division. It's like I don't know how they get challenged, but then it's a big sort of thing for Berkshire. Where does Berkshire stack up in their division? Because all they've done is they've run across a division and they've run into sort of a fucking road grader of a team in Somerset. So it doesn't really tell me much for how they fare in their own division yet.
No, that's fair enough. Right, let's. How did we do on our predictions?
You did better than I did.
For 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, you're smashing it.
I fucking know this game.
I know Britball. That's why I own a website.
Yeah.
My only defense is that I
know Britball did a whole website about it.
Yeah, I know. I'm just basing this based off what people did last year. I don't care how you've played this year yet.
Yeah.
So if your team makeup has changed in the last 6 months, then it's going to trip me up. Right, let's go.
This week, hold on. Sorry, I just need to do something. Okay, so week 5.
Yes.
If we've got the fixtures correct. So, shall I get them on screen again?
Well, because I know we've got in the Prem North, we've got an absolute fucking barn burner up in Scotland.
Hold, please. Let me just get them on screen. Get
rid
of the chat.
I'll get you some hold music.
Yeah. Thanks. That's awful.
Did you ever like The Offspring when you were in your 20s?
Love The Offspring. Yeah.
Did you ever hear the album Ixnay on the Hombre from like the late 90s? Had like the Crazy Taxi theme on it. So it was like well, in the middle of that album, they did what was called an intermission. Yeah. And it was literally guys like intermission. And then it plays elevator music. It's like
I remember. What was their album before that with a skeleton with Self-Esteem on it?
No, because the skeleton was on Ixnay on the Hombre. Because they had Smash in like 1993.
Smash,
I want to say. Okay, right, yeah. So Smash was like 93, and then they had Ixnay on the Hombre, which was like 96 or 98, and then they did like Americana in 2000.
And then they went all pop.
Well, after Americana was still very good.
Right, let's move on.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Sorry about some of these logos have reverted back, and Dom's fixing it. Sorry about that.
Well, he's not.
This should be
because he was fixing it last week, and he just hasn't.
It pisses me off that shit done and pisses Dom off as well. I can show you the text chat between us where he's like,
"I don't
what
care."
The fuck? Anyway, ignoring that, let's go. So this is the North, Prem North, Titans, Nighthawks.
That's a hiding. I'm calling 50. Like
I'm saying Titans.
Yeah. I'm saying I'll say Titans plus 50. Unless
Panthers, Phoenix. I'm going Phoenix.
Yeah, I have to still go Phoenix purely because they are the more established unit, and we don't know how big of a loss their QB. Like they still managed to only lose by 34 when they lost their main QB against the best team in the country. So even if you're going to struggle with QB2, your defense is still elite.
Yeah.
So.
And Pirates, Wolves.
Oh, mate.
I've got to go Wolves.
Yeah, I've got to go Wolves as well. Just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in. I love the Wolves. But I think this is going to be a great game.
Are you talking about Solent Blitz? As a great game.
No, Wolves EKP.
Yeah, it will be
I
a
think
brilliant
Wolves
game.
EKP is going to be.
I think the Wolves have got the edge in Scotland at the moment.
Oh, definitely. Well, they've had the edge in Scotland for a while now. But it's like EKP's played one game so far, and they shut out their opponent. And then the Wolves lost to the Titans, but have beaten everybody else they've played. So I think it's going to be a great game. Absolute barn burner.
So we are live streaming this game, Solent versus the London Blitz.
I think the Blitz win comfortably.
Yeah, I don't know about comfortably. I can't write off the Thrashers from one result. And I know there's this rumor that you've said. So I do think a Blitz win, but I think it's going to be a tight one.
I mean, it's fine that you don't want to write them off of one result, but I'm kind of basing it on two results, like how the Thrashers performed against the Warriors and how.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So, and then it's the Blitz did a demo job on what was on the Cats, but that's pre-Huxtable Cats. So
pre-Hux.
Before
Hux. BH. Right. So Kent Exiles, Aztecs. I'm obviously going Aztecs.
Aztecs. I think the Exiles are in free fall right now. Like, I think they are in trouble. And I just wanted to touch you. I said something quite controversial that made you go, what? Where I said if you fold, not if you forfeit, if you fold as a Prem team, I think you have to disband the organization.
Oh yeah, we got interrupted by some
twat
in the chat.
Yeah. Like not forfeit a game. If you fold as a Prem team, right?
Yeah, I don't see how that's good. So okay.
Mate, you are supposed to be part of the flagship of the sport, right? As a Prem team.
Yeah, so you're saying if you fold, sorry, let me get this right. If you're a Prem team and you fold or you forfeit,
you fold the season. Like if you've
done for the season, then you're associate.
Yeah, no, but your org is gone. Your players go somewhere else. To me,
you can't enforce that anyway.
Like, no, I know you can't. I know you can't enforce it. But I'm saying you should. Like, this is right now. This is Samurai Seppuku. You are dishonored, right? And you should be. You are cutting your own stomach open, and someone's cutting off your head. Your organization is gone. If you are, as a Prem organization, folding a season, right?
Okay.
You don't deserve to be around no more.
What you're saying is
you get to go into the record books as, started 1984, finished the season you fucking folded. Like, you are done. You're a disgrace.
Okay. Yeah, I've got nothing to say to it. I don't. It can't happen. So you just go down to associate and people will hate you. That's it.
Yeah, you just go down to associate and your players all bugger off everywhere else, and you lock the club up and you never come back.
I've been there.
Yeah, I know. You lock the club up and you never come back.
11 years ago, it happened to my club.
Yeah, exactly. And they've never recovered since.
No, well, sort of almost did, and then that got again.
No.
Oh, mate. Yes. Our team that we were on.
I was, and I still don't think we would have fucking touched the Warriors.
Not the Warriors, no, but I think the momentum was building up. We were a very strong team.
We were looking to be like, I think we would have had about 2 or 3 seasons where we'd finished mid-table. People had realised that we were never actually going to win the Prem, and they would have buggered off.
No, well, this is for another time. Lancashire Wolverines, Darlington Steam. Lancashire Wolverines, please.
I think the Steam got fucking hammered last time they played, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, yeah.
Yeah.
This game, all of the Houghton Spartans are 1-0 walkovers, but it seems that they're doing them in time rather than just putting them all as 1-0 starting off.
Okay, do you want me to put alphas or just ignore it?
No, just leave it.
Okay, cool.
Pointless.
It's the reverse.
I've got to go Caesars, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, based on what we've seen, you got to go Caesars again.
Spartans,
Dolphins,
Devils. I'm going the Norwich Devils.
I'm taking the Devils as well. I think this year is. I think Scott mentioned that they've got a lot of injuries in Essex at the moment. They've had players leave. I feel like they're in trouble.
South Wales Warriors, Hertfordshire Cheetahs. This is a good one. I can't go for South Wales Warriors.
Neither. I can't go against Russ. I'm still taking
the Cheetahs, so I'll go for the Cheetahs.
Yeah, it's just I've only seen one game of South Wales. Like, they could come out the gates and away we go, but I haven't seen enough.
Yeah. Senators versus the Raiders. I don't know, man. I would have said Senators easy win, but they didn't perform too well. Who was it?
Donny. They struggled against Donny.
Donny, yeah. Yeah.
So
I'll go Senators.
I have to take. Who's got the who's at home for this one?
Always the left team.
Oh, okay. The home bugger. I was going to say because I'm actually in Leeds on the day that's going to be. If I was at home, I might have gone and checked it out just to boo Wakefield.
Warhawks by 50.
Yeah, I mean, just thoughts and prayers for the presidents. Thoughts and prayers.
Oh, this one. I'm going Shropshire.
Are you taking the Revs?
Yeah, but the Bombers are decent. I was chatting to one of the Bombers earlier, and I said Shropshire. He didn't like it, but
have we seen the Revs play this year yet?
Give me 2 minutes. We're back in a sec.
Oh,
I've got to check. You keep talking.
Because I don't know if we've seen the Revs play this year yet. So I look at that. I really liked Lincolnshire as well. Like, especially last year, I want to say it was, where I thought they had great. This is weird because Steve usually reckons that social media is his thing. But I do like teams that have active social media on game day. I don't really care about your promotion, in preseason, off season, when you're trying to get people to tryouts and things like that. What I care about is what product you're spitting out on game day. How easy is it for people to be able to see how well you're doing, things like that. And I thought Lincolnshire used to have a really good product on game day. We haven't seen the Revs play this year, but I feel that they were fairly decent last year, so I'm probably going to have to go for the Revs. It's tough. I'm gonna pick the Rev, and Steve's mentioned that he's picking the Revs as well. So we'll tap that in, and then if we move down to Portsmouth Ouse Valley, Steve's scrolling behind the scenes, and he's back. Okay,
sorry,
it's all right, mate. I'm taking the Revs. I used to like the Bombers, their social media presence on game day. I used to think they had really good. I haven't seen much of it this year because I haven't been following along in season. But I'm gonna have to go for the Revs. Who are you picking? Portsmouth Ouse.
Do you know what? Both of these games I feel like can go either way. I'm gonna go Portsmouth against Ouse Valley.
Damn it. I'm thinking the Dreads as well.
They just won a game.
Their first game, they were strong, very strong.
Renegades, Storm.
I'm picking Swindon.
Yeah, I'm going Storm.
Yeah, it's. I think Swindon have been looking like they might win that division, even though they've got cross division games because it's a smaller division.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This one, I'm going Cardinals. I know the logos are wrong. Please don't tell me that.
I think we've got our first differing one then, because I think I'm going to pick East Essex. I think I'm going to pick East Essex.
Well, I knew you would go for them, and I knew you wouldn't go for them.
Right. Okay. So
I was like, well, I'll go for the Cardinals, and I do think the Cardinals will get the win here. I like that's the genuine.
I think they have played. I think they have played well in other games. They didn't play as well this past week, but they've played well in earlier games. So I can see a path to them winning, but I'm still going with East Essex. Like, I thought coming into the season, East Essex was going to do a lot better than they did or have done so far. This is essentially like me holding the rope before dropping the coffin. Like I'm saying this week, like what you do this week depends on if I lift you back out of the grave or whether I let go and you're dead to me. So
okay, so it's their last chance.
Yeah, last chance, 100%.
I can't see past Hereford on this one.
Yeah, Stampede. The Monarchs struggled against Portsmouth, and I'm not using that as an indictment of Portsmouth or anything like that. I know the way I say it sounds. Stampede have been strong in their victories. It's all about the Stampede. Here we go. Scott's popped up. So Scott is our resident Spartans contributor, and he reckons that the Cardinals will win by less than a score in the Sabres Cardinals game.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
I guess if that's the case, then that is the East Essex Sabres dead to me, because
it doesn't feel like there's many games this week. 3, 4.
There's exactly the same as there was last week and the week before.
17. It's always about 17 or 18.
It's exactly the same, because I've got it stacked up on my little spreadsheet here,
cool. Right? Yeah,
and it's the same amount of games each as the past 2 weeks. So, can you just very quickly pick a game that you? What game are you looking forward to seeing the score of the most?
Don't know. There's not one, but this one.
Yeah. That was gonna be my second one.
Right.
My first one's EKP Wolves.
Right, yeah, I could have guessed that. You seem really excited by that.
Mate, I'm amped for EKP Wolves.
That's the Breen's game of the week, by the way. The Battle
is it?
for Scotland. Yeah, I just saw a message about it.
Yeah, because if you think about it, like it is the best two. It's who is the best Scottish team.
Yeah,
because we've now got 2 Scottish teams in the Prem, so it's who's the best Scottish team. So I can't wait to see the the scoreline from it. South Wales, Russ is more interested in EKP Wolves, and he's literally playing against the Warriors. Russ is like, "Fuck our game. What's EKP Wolves doing?"
Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah, I can see the appeal. I don't know why. I maybe it's because we live streamed a lot of these games from this division.
Mate, Russ is about to text his coordinators and tell them that they're going to have to handle the game themselves. He's off to Scotland.
Yeah. Priorities.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so look at this. Everybody, EKP Wolves, the Scottish Championship game. Interested to see the Portsmouth game now, considering the Wyverns have a 5-week break to prepare. So, Jack, I'm assuming plays for Somerset.
The Wyverns have not played in 5 weeks.
No, they're going to have 5 weeks now.
Oh, this is the... No. Is it?
Yeah. Because they played... So this is going to be week 5. Yeah, they're not playing this week. Not playing next week. Not playing the week after. Not playing the week after.
You can just click on the team and it'll tell you all their fixtures.
No, I'm scrolling.
The website's really good.
Is it? Because you keep telling me about how the logos are wrong and your divisions aren't right.
Don't get me started about the logos being wrong.
So your logos are wrong, your divisions aren't right. Like you didn't even have the reverse fixture. See, I couldn't trust it was going to be there because you didn't have the reverse fixture for Glasgow versus Highlands. So
I'll have to look into that. I don't like. There was a load of fixtures that were added late.
Yeah, they don't play. They don't play again until week 10. They play Portsmouth in week 10.
Jesus.
And then they play Cornwall, and then they've got another 3 weeks off. It's outrageous. Don't play in week 1. Play week 2, week 3, week 4. Don't play again until week 10. Then week 11. Then you don't play again until week 15. Then you play week 16, week 17. Like, what? Could you not have, staggered them a little bit? So it's like game, 1 week off, game, 1 week off, game.
Well, that's always what there's a criticism every single year. And the thing that doesn't help.
Why are you playing 3 games and having 5 weeks off?
You've got the BAFRA convention, which and then is it BAFRA and BAFCA? I think there's 2, and then there's 3 GB camps, which only really affects Prem teams. I think there are still games scheduled on the weeks that GB have got camps, like for Div 1, Div 2, which is cool. But yeah, I don't know why they have these like coaching conventions in the middle of the fucking season. Like BAFCA have it, like, oh, everyone have a week off, and I just don't get it. But or is it whichever one it is, BAFCA or BAFRA,
the big thing that Tony mentioned is ref availability. That is how I would look at it. Is we do not have enough refs in the country for every team to play every second week, which is it's sad, but
yeah, there's only, like you said, there's only 17, 18 games that they'll cover a week.
Yeah, and then that's spread right from fucking the top of Scotland down to Torbay or Cornwall. So
yeah. Anyway,
yeah,
I can't be asked to moan about alignments and stuff. There's bigger issues in the game, like I can't celebrate a touchdown, I can't wear a quick release tinted visor, and I also can't have a ref mic'd up.
No, the biggest issues right now, Dunfermline is struggling to score points, and Torbay's only scoring points off of safeties from their opposition's fuck-ups. That is the biggest issues facing the games right now.
2-point Torbay.
2-point Torbay. So we've got the Mercy Rule Nighthawks and 2-point Torbay.
2-point Torbay.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, BAFCA should have their convention post-season after final. Yeah, that's it.
Who the fuck are BAFCA? BAFCA, is that the Coaches Association?
Yeah.
Right.
I like, and the reason
that makes no sense for me for you to have a Coaches Association convention in the middle of the season when coaches are supposed to be fucking coaching.
So this is, I was just about to say, and Craig said it, it's because they can get US coaches over and they like to, circle jerk around US coaches. So,
can we get done? That's good. That's great. That's great. We're very critical of the refs, like not intentionally or maybe intentionally, but I enjoy. I like hearing that there's new faces in the stripe.
Yeah,
like,
I don't think I'm critical of the refs. I'm critical of the rules.
You're having a whinge. They won't mic themselves
up. I get on well with the refs. They were right.
No, right. Unless they won't put a mic on.
But that's the rule that they're like. That's them being told this is the rule. Like it's not them.
Can we get the top comment showing, please?
This one.
Which comment? Who? Okay. What would the score be in Dunfermline Torbay?
Where's that? I can't even see that comment.
What? You just
this is the comment you wanted. Yeah.
What would the score be in Dunfermline versus Torbay? That would be oh my god, as an away game, that would be a cunt of an away game for whoever it was. Like, how do you pitch that to your team who scored next to no points all year, and you go, right, guys, we're off to Devon. What?
Wooden Spoon Bowl.
Or right, guys, we're off to sunny Dunfermline.
You'd have to go. The thing is, it's so far apart. They'd have to play in like middle of the.
Like, they'd have to play in London or some shit. Hold it in some shit northern town. They're all shit, mate. Don't worry, I've been to most of them. The only thing I can think of is, Tom reckons it'd be 2-0. I reckon it would be some denomination of 2 to like, so it might be like 8-0 or 10-0, 12-0. Because Torbay's only going to score from safeties and Dunfermline's not going to score at all.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah. I reckon that end up being 2-0.
2-0? Yeah. Be the worst game of football I'd ever watched in my life. Jax is saying at least all of his coaches can now go to the convention and learn. Was there an issue previously with coaches not being able to go?
I don't think so.
More just an issue with Jack's coaches then, I guess.
Maybe his coaches they were told, no, you're not, Jack, because you coach Jack, you're not going.
Yeah. No, but Jack coaches. Jack's the head coach.
Oh yeah, at least all of my coaches. Maybe he said because you're the head coach, they're not going.
Oh, they were playing.
Gotcha. That's what you should be doing. I thought there was hold on. There's no games at the BAFCA convention week. Isn't there one clear week?
I don't know. I've never paid any attention to it.
I hate the fact that the level of importance that's put on US coaches coming to the BAFCA convention outweighs
our season.
Nice scheduling.
Where are the coaches coming from?
They come over from the US.
No. Like what level?
Usually NCAA, I think.
Again, what level?
Div 1 usually.
Like, are we talking like somewhere like the ACC? Are we talking Pac-12? Are we talking?
I don't know.
SEC.
There's nothing you can tell me about it. Fucking Roger Goodall could come over and fucking.
That would not be good. He's not a good coach. He's a commissioner.
But I'm saying he still have something interesting to say, right?
Well, he'd be able to tell Cricket Pete how to run a league.
Yeah. I just don't see why the whole league stopped because of it. Imagine they did that in Premier League football. Oh yeah, there's no games this week.
Imagine there were teams like
the refs all need to speak to these refs, and these refs know more from this country, so we're catering to them. Just fuck off. I hate it. I fucking hate it. I've always hated it. So yeah.
There's a little bit of a difference between Premier League football and...
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's the same principle, right? Like, what league do you know that's just fucking grinds to a halt for a week to allow the the coaches to all go and fucking soggy biscuit each other?
I mean, in amateur sports, there's a high possibility it probably happens in different parts of the world.
Show me. Prove. Don't possibility me. Give me some evidence. I think it's fucking shit. It's terrible. But I've thought that for 10 years. I don't care enough. For me, there's bigger fish to fry, as in, being able to celebrate a touchdown, being able to wear a visor that's tinted that is quick release, and refs being able to be mic'd up for games.
So swag is more important than proper efficient coaching.
So are you saying that at these conventions, our coaches come out of it all better, being able to apply new skills immediately that push our game forward?
Well, I fucking hope so. I thought that was the whole point of the convention. I thought that was literally the whole point of the convention. I've never been to one.
I've never in my years of playing in Britball have I thought, oh yeah, I can't wait till coach comes back from the fucking convention. Finally, he'll know how to put me in a proper 3-point stance, or he'll be able to pick up on some key signals that I've not picked up on.
Well, it probably means more about the fact that you're
a better place. I've never thought pre and post convention my coaches are better. And why? And if they are that good, why does it need to be in the middle of the season? Shouldn't you be doing it at the beginning? So I get the coaches that are good all the time.
But my question is then, is that not more a possibility that you could have a coach that just didn't fucking pay attention during the convention?
Yeah.
So this convention happens, and it's not the convention's fault that your coach doesn't take away what he should from it. You just had a shit coach.
Yes. Again, both things lean towards have the convention at the start of the season. There's a long comment now. I'm not reading it. You can read it and tell me what it says. I can't.
So if the Premier League coaches said we'll all come to a convention and present to the lower semi-pro leagues, it's in the middle of the season, you'd want to organise and say, hey, let's free up a weekend and go upskill. Yeah, he's right. For example, so he's essentially saying if we looked at it from Sunday League football perspective, right? If the Premier League, right, went, we're going to take off in the middle of our scheduling. But the other thing is we're looking at scheduling timing points. We play in the summer, right? Football is a winter sport in America.
Oh, so mate, someone else is saying it's based around a US coach. I know it is. I know. But
your point is, like, you're talking about for, like, it would have to be some other team or some other sport that was played in a flip of the year when it would be played. Because the Prem is not going to pause in the middle of the Sunday League football season. Like the Premier League is not going to pause in the middle of the Sunday League football season to have a coaches convention, because that's the middle of their season as well. So it would have to be a flip when it's in their off season to then pause our season, if that makes sense.
If you're putting so much provenance on what these coaches have to say, that they have to say it in person and at that time of the year, yeah. Like I don't get it. I work in learning and development, right? Like for those of you that don't know, my job, I make quite a lot of money training people and coaching and putting together coaching and mentorship programs and all this sort of stuff. Right? I know this is an area of expertise that I am fucking awesome at, right? So to say to me that, oh, it's because we want to fly someone over and physically be there because that knowledge at that time is only available then, is fucking bullshit, right?
No, but it's a scheduling thing bullshit. Because
they want to be able to shake the person's hand and have them in front of them, and if they did it at the beginning of the season, it just mean they have to zoom the people in or satellite call them in.
Yeah, but at the beginning of the season, but at the beginning of the season, they've got but at the beginning of the season, they've got their own shit happening. At the beginning of the season, these guys have got their own college programs going on. They've got their own recruiting trips that they have to make. They've got shit that's more important to them than coming over to help some rinky-dink fucking league that doesn't mean shit to them. So they're taking their
find
time.
Someone else then.
No, they're taking their time.
That's what I mean. I just don't get it.
Britball isn't worth it.
So, but that's why I don't see why we're bending to their will. It doesn't.
You're bending to their will because the ant does not get to control what the human does, and we are the ant. That's exactly my point. You're putting them on this fucking pedestal. Because they're so much better than us. Have you seen the quality of product that we're spitting out here?
Okay,
we lose our shit, right? As a collective. We lose our shit the moment someone gets to be a walk-on at a Division 3 fucking school, right? That person is fucking nobody in the grand scheme of the sport, right? But the moment we get one person as a walk-on at a Division 3, we are like, oh my god, it's amazing, it's amazing. Like, no, right? But we've got coaches coming over that if they're coaching, like someone said, ex-Georgia Tech coach, that guy's probably forgotten more about football than the rest of this fucking country knows.
I still think that it's like, this is how it feels to me. Like we're sitting a player down, like imagine as a player. If I, let's say some rookies join my team or some new players join a team and I say, oh, you're a linebacker. If you could just go and watch loads of Clay Matthews videos, then come back to me and we'll see how you do. Like the shit that these people know and do, we cannot fucking do at this level, right? They cannot. We cannot take their playbooks, their approaches, or anything. We can learn some like goodwill things, but you can learn that from a fucking motivational speaker.
No, but there's things. Coaching is not all about schemes.
The way that you play American football that we could fucking learn from those people.
But there's plenty of things you can learn about being a coach, right?
It's because
the amount of coaches in this country
to go, oh, I met this person.
No, but the amount of coaches in this country are literally some cunt who's just done level one.
So that coach says to you, oh yeah, what you need to do, coach, is put 60 hours a week in to do, and have 5 members of staff that are also putting 60 hours a week in, and make sure that your quarterback, they're spending 4 nights a week, 2 hours a night watching game film with you. And they'd be like, we can't do any of that. We can't do any of that. All right, okay, yeah. So fucking what then?
No, but
it's just bollocks.
You look at the majority of coaches in this game, like especially at a Div 1 and Div 2 level, they're ex-players, right? They are like, I have been at teams where a coach has literally been someone who just got old enough where they were like, oh, I just can't be asked playing this season. And then the head coach is like, oh, do you want to be the positional coach of the unit that you were literally in a fucking rotation for last season? You weren't the star. You weren't the best player in that rotation. You were just in the rotation. But now that you're too old, can you just be the coach? Because we don't have this positional coach, right? There is so much that level of coach can take away from being in a room with someone. Like Jack has said, it doesn't mean he's going to idolize all American coaches. But if the Georgia Tech DB coach is going to come over and talk about DB like tech, he's going to take a point away from it. He's 100% going to go and take away whatever he can. But the amount of coaches in this country that are literally just, I've passed my level 1, I'm now a coach.
I don't care. You're making it the fucking main character, and it's not the main character. The main character during the season is the games.
No,
and that's my fucking problem with it. And I don't care about what the coaches do and don't learn. That's what I'm fucking saying. But you're forcing it down my throat, and you're forcing me to fucking.
Yeah, but what the coaches do and don't learn mean that you're left with this subpar product that we're spitting out every fucking Sunday.
So if we take the BAFTA convention away, then we lose everything, and we're no longer going to.
If we take the BAFTA convention away, we're stuck with rolling out fucking Dunfermline
I'm not saying
every
take
week.
It away either. And it was a good suggestion there. Do it on a Friday and Saturday. They don't even do that. They want to take the fucking Sunday, don't they? But yeah, I don't think it's You're like the levels are so much. I used to work at a Premier League football club, right? I've seen like professional athletes and how they act, how people treat them. Like it's a completely different.
But there's transitive factors. There's transitive factors that you can take away.
Comparable, right?
No,
not comparable.
But the athlete is not comparable. But the coaching is. There is transitive factors when it comes to coaching that can be applied. There fucking is. There's transitive factors that can be applied at the NFL level, right down to fucking coaching 6-year-olds, right? And if you don't know how to coach, right? You just don't know how to coach at all. If all you've done is like when you pass your level 1, I've got level 1 coaching, right? I didn't learn a fucking thing about how to coach, not a fucking thing. But I can go and coach a team right now because I've got level 1. But you don't learn anything at all. There's nothing anywhere in terms of like the resources that BAFTA provides to you to become an actual coach. You go sit your level 1. You sit in a room with some cunt who's got a fucking rule book and he goes, well, you need to do this. You need to do this. You go outside and they tell you to run a drill. It's not a fucking drill. It's you put a tackle pad down on the ground and you tell someone what they need to do with that tackle pad. And then at the end of the day, well done, you've got level 1. Like,
no, I've done it.
And exactly. And now you're a coach. No, you're fucking not. You don't know the people that I did my coaching course with, my level 1 coaching course. Like, I swear there was at least 2 window lickers. Like, there are people that I wouldn't give a driver's license to, let alone a fucking coaching license. So if this convention helps people go from, being an absolute spud of a human being to being able to actually coach another human being, then it's probably the most fucking crucial thing. Because how many teams have got underqualified coaches?
Okay, and this accentuates my whole point. Do you need a Div 1 coach from the US to fly over to give you whatever information you need to make those people better?
Mate, any resources?
No, you don't. And that's my fucking point. Is that this whole timing thing about needing these people from
but it's not just you're not just catering to the lowest common denominator. There's going to be coaches there,
motivational coaches that have been in different sports, like fucking Olympic rowers, the whole boat go faster thing. I've listened to fucking SAS guys there was one dude that he was with Bear Grylls. He had his fucking leg blown off, and he was talking about that. And he talked about leadership and coaching. And
did he talk about faster reflexes?
You don't need someone who is where you want to be. They can be a mentor, but they don't need to be there for a day of coaching with you.
But you don't just cater to the
premise. The argument is, we need to line up a load of US coaches who are currently otherwise busy. Then it's the fucking wrong premise.
No, it's not.
It is. It absolutely
because you're mentioning it like
out on general fucking coaching and people have already said like different cross.
So we're sacking off what a week.
I do it already. I coach fucking salespeople, marketing people, and I write coaching programs. And if all we did was put, this is a person that's been there and done it in front of them, then they wouldn't actually go anywhere. Yeah, they might have some really nice stories and little tidbits, but that's not programmatically going to improve them as a coach.
No, but the thing is, you're catering to what you mentioned before about how is like this Div 1 coach going to be able to relate anything to these Level 1 coaches. That's the lowest common denominator. There are coaches in this country who have nothing to learn from anybody else in this fucking country. The only things they have to learn are from someone that is a Div 1.
And you think they sit there just wait for the fucking the convention?
I think the convention helps. No, I think the convention helps. What are you taking away? A week of fucking DC presidents versus Wakefield District Raiders? I'll tell you what I would rather do. I would rather listen to a coaching circle jerk than watch some of the shit that we are putting out on a Sunday.
Yeah, someone said, look, freestyle high school ball is better than Prem ball, probably. I just don't see. It's not the tip. It's the tech. Yeah, cool. I don't know why my point's being missing so much here. It's like everyone's trying to it should not be on a fucking Sunday in the middle of the season. Simple as that.
If that's the only time you can get him,
can happen outside of it.
But if that's the only time you can get him because his schedule doesn't work the other way,
get someone else.
It's a favor. He doesn't have to do this.
You telling me the whole of the United States, in all of fucking football, that there's not coaches available? That is bullshit.
No, I'm telling you in the whole of the United States, there's not coaches that are available for this. Because it's not like are we paying these guys? Has it been done?
Yeah, they get fucking paid. They get flown over. They get fucking hotel. They get all their food. They get fucking well looked after, and they speak for a couple of hours. It's bollocks.
I get, exactly. I just, So Jason said, Jack said, I said earlier, I agree with the timing point. It's not ideal, but you're skipping between a timing issue and saying US coaches
can't offer us anything. I'm saying it's diminishing compared to what other levels and other sports. And there's what I'm saying is there are other options that are infinitely fucking better and getting, which will give you immediate actionable progress that you're just ignoring, that no one, that's never even, I never even see it on the schedules, right? And like, this isn't an issue I give a fuck about. Like I said, it's well low down my list of priorities, but please don't anyone sit there and tell me about fucking coaching, because I fucking know all about it. I've studied it. I've got the fucking initials after my name. You're fucking with a territory that I really know well, right? And I'm telling you that if all your coaching that is available and that you're looking forward to is leagues, literally fucking leagues and leagues ahead of you, it's going to be slow, painful progress. That's what I'm fucking saying. And everyone seems to want to tell me otherwise, but I'm fucking telling you that's the truth. 100%.
But
the end.
All right. I've argued my points.
No, that's 2. I wanted to finish about 20 minutes ago, but then you started going on about coaching and trying to fucking, not you, everyone started going on about fucking coaching. But it's still progress. Yeah, I'm trying to say to you, there's a faster way to accelerate.
Not with Baffer.
Otherwise, we've got nothing. Well, that's what I'm saying. You shouldn't have nothing, and we should. And as coaches, you should be holding Bafka and Wayne Hill accountable to this stuff because there's no incremental improvements. What they did was throw you into a Team USA portal, which has got loads of different training things you can do, and it's a load of wank. It's a terrible, terrible structure we've got for our coaches, and it's all like underpinned by this fucking jerk off fucking convention. It's absolute shit. I don't care. Is essentially the answer. I care more about the games and the shit I do, and the fact that I would sooner see us be able to celebrate touchdowns than the BAFCA convention and the learning path sorted out for the coaches. I just don't care. But yeah, to answer your question, it's still progress. It is. It's slow, painful progress.
Your eyes are right, mate. Do you want me to read it out?
Learning is not one weekend; it's all year round. Yeah, it should be. That's what my point about. What do you think the top coaches are doing in this country who have got nothing else that they can learn from anything else in this country? They will be looking after their own
interests.
They'll be making their own connections.
They will not be sitting there waiting for this convention year round. Like they'll be in contact with other people on Twitter. I follow a couple of UK coaches on Twitter, and I see them on Twitter reaching out to American coaches at different levels, high school, college, everything, and they're out there getting their resources out there, getting things back. And
so it seems that everyone's sort of
Rachel
into it now.
We don't have a censor here. You can swear.
Who? Oh yeah, beep. What's this? So Steve.
Bleep. Why do you have to lean so far fucking forward? Are you all right?
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't feel like I'm leaning far, but I suppose
mate, you're almost headbutting your camera.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm quite far away from it.
No, but you're not though. You're getting inside of it.
Like, that's where my camera is.
Mate, I'm worried about your eye. I'm worried about your eyes.
What's this? There's someone holding.
You're sitting there trying to read it like this.
Yeah, just lean forward like that.
Yeah, why? Why can't you just sit there and read it? Are you all right?
I'm fine.
Have you got glasses?
Someone's holding the BAFCA convention mid-season is beep. Yeah. Stupid. Essentially, it's intrusive where it doesn't need to be. That's it.
Man, I'm really worried about you.
Why? Are you worried about my eyes?
Yeah, you get cataracts or something. Because that's twice I've seen you read.
I've got different colour eyes, and they show up weird on cameras.
Because that's twice I've just seen you lean fully forward in to look at something.
Oh, you're talking about? Yeah, no, I'm just fine. I can read that from here. I just
well, that's what I'm wondering. Like, because you've been
right.
the whole show.
It ain't that far.
Yeah, no, but it's the point. The whole show you've been sitting there normally reading, and then like just now you've had to properly lean in. So I'm just a little bit worried.
It's only that far. BAFCA convention in break between.
There's a third time. Are you all right?
Yeah, just lean in, you prick.
Yeah, why do you have to lean? You haven't leaned the whole fucking show.
Have I not?
No, that's my whole point. You've been sitting there the whole time reading comments, and just now you've had to like.
I'm not now. So you're exaggerating. Now.
I'm worried, mate. I'm worried.
I'll have a convo about this than figure it out.
And now you're fighting leading in.
I wouldn't. I think that's much more exciting. This stuff, you just go round and round in circles on. And I can't. Like, we've had these conversations for years, haven't we? I just can't be bothered with them. But like we gain nothing talking about
there it is. No, there it is, David at the top. That's the point. I don't know how to make the comments appear.
I need to check that out. Make sure you can get it. Baffer have to produce a reason. Yeah.
I did. It is, and I'm still shouting, and my neighbours are probably losing their minds. Because I got paper thin walls.
Move.
Well, I'll have to at this
rate.
Not you, then. The homeowners association is going to get on me. Yeah.
Right, I don't know how we've held 50 people for this long. This has been a nonsense chat.
No, because whenever we get into these rants, it draws people.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
Steve's swearing again.
And no, it's not even that. It's like they're actually talking about something that nobody else talks about. Whenever we get onto these sort of topics,
but it's all for nothing. Even if the right people who would make the right decisions heard this, it would probably run.
They disregard it because
never
it's you.
Change.
They disregard it. If it was the right people, the right.
And I'm so disliked by those individuals that they're more likely to go against it just because I fucking said it.
Oh yeah,
Like,
we're getting a
they
2-week long convention now. Like that, right? We're getting a 2-week long convention in the middle of the season because you've voiced your hate for the 1-week convention. They're extending it to a second week.
This is brilliant.
I'm in work and had message to log back in.
We should pick a hot topic each week to go on about. But yeah, I just don't see the point. Like I'd rather talk about all the funniness between, like the actual on field stuff, because
I want to be able to show comments. I didn't go to Inverness. I was supposed to be going this week coming, but they've reassigned the job. I was in Glasgow though last week. I was in Glasgow. I was in Motherwell, Glasgow, Wishaw, and then on the Wednesday I was in Edinburgh. So I did my little trip around Scotland.
Lovely,
and then I saw
Scotland's beautiful.
Oh, mate, that drive up. Because for me, I have to go up. I go past Newcastle, and then I went inland, and then up the weather report's always at the start. Always at the start.
We're talking about scenery now.
So I went inland. I went inland through Carlisle, and then I go up from Carlisle to Glasgow. And that drive along, I think it's like the M8 or something like that. Like that is a beautiful drive up the Mate. Yeah, driving up the Mate. It is incredible. And then I saw, but it was quite stupid because I saw like signs, and it was like East Kilbride is this way, and I was like, oh, I know about them.
Yeah.
And then there was
the pirates.
Yeah, no, it was. And like, I want to say I saw a sign for Dunfermline, but I don't know if that's right. So, but I saw different signs for things, and I was just like, ooh, I know where that is.
Yeah.
So it was a really stupid thing, but no, the drive from
it's amazing, like how, because I've worked in Glasgow and Edinburgh before, and it's amazing how close it all is. Like Dunfermline, Glasgow, Edinburgh, all of them, they're all so close to each other.
Well, so when I was coming back, so to go up, I had to go to Glasgow. So I had to go through Carlisle and then up sort of the middle part. And then coming back, I came back down the coastal way because I went across to Edinburgh for my next job and then came back down the coast. And I love it when you get, like, you're coming down the coast, you get past like Berwick. See what these guys are saying, that it's even nicer further up. That's what everybody tells me. Everybody, like, even when I was in Glasgow, everybody's like, oh yeah, no, Lanarkshire is like the worst part of Scotland. Everywhere else is so much nicer.
Yeah, amazing. So we'll have to do a road trip. We'll have to go to a Highlands game one day.
Mate, honestly, if we were going to go to a game, Edinburgh EKP would have been the game to go to.
No, I meant we want to go to fucking
Stags. Well, Stags Aberdeen.
Aberdeen.
Stags versus Aberdeen.
Yeah.
I'll do the live stream with you if you're willing to make the journey. You can stop at my place.
We're fully booked this year. Although we got the second team.
Get someone else to run the camera, and you come up with me.
I'm buying all the equipment for the second live stream crew this week. So hopefully in about 2-3 weeks' time, we'll start a second team up north.
Let's have a look at fixtures.
Like Manchester, Sheffield area.
Fixtures. We've got Roughneck Stags. Mate, we've got Roughneck Stags in week 12. So June the 25th.
Okay, I'll have a look.
Because if you want, you could crash at my place on the way up, and then we could drive up together. It's a long trip for you to make in one go.
I know. We'll see. Yeah, I'll have a look into it. But I was going to say go to bed. I'm not. I'm going to go and get a drink and just watch telly.
Or look at my phone. Finish Yellowstone.
No, I can't because my missus have gone to bed.
You're gonna write a spin-off for Mo Brings Plenty.
Yeah, Mo needs a spin-off. I put a lot of thought into that, and I've changed different characters at different times. But I think Mo, because not enough is shown about Mo. There's a lot shown about Rip in his past. There's a lot shown about Beth and her past.
I wouldn't mind one for Casey, like for when Casey was in the military.
Are you going to stream the convention? Yeah, we should fucking do that. We should go and live stream the convention.
Well, are we getting in? I mean, I've got my Div 1 coaching thing.
We wouldn't get in, mate. They'd like fucking smell us coming.
I think Casey would be a cool spin-off. Mo Brings Plenty. Rip, obviously, but we see enough about Rip anyway.
That's what I mean. Like, you see a lot of John, you see a lot of Rip.
They've done 2 spin-offs of the 2 generations beforehand. So there's like 1923.
Oh, is there?
Yeah. So if you look on Paramount, if you look on the Paramount Plus app, there's like 1897 and 1923 or some shit like that. They're both
the other one that I think would be good is Jamie.
I
But
can't
that'd be
stand
more
them.
for like
No,
law
I
and
can't-
litigation.
no,
See, I love
I
watching
can't
law
stand-
programs.
Oh, so do I, mate. I love Suits, The Good Wife, like law litigation programs. Fucking
Yeah, I love
them.
them.
But
So
I can't
I
stand
think one about
Jamie the
Jamie's
character.
backstory would be good because he was really successful, wasn't he? Like fucking awesome. at what he does.
Yeah, he's a tool though.
Right, let's stop this because we're just talking shit.
Yeah, so 1883. There's 1883, which is one, and then there's also I think it's like 1927 or some shit, also on Paramount Plus, and they're the prequels. It's John's family back in the late 1800s and early 1900s.
We'll watch that as well then.
Yeah,
cool. Right, well,
Tom's told us the bar's going to be open for the Highland Aberdeen game.
Cool. Oh, I don't drink. So-
Then you can drive.
Yeah, that's fucking drive up to the Highlands from here. No way.
Yeah, with me. No, you drive up to my house, and then we drive up to the Highlands together.
I'll
And
look
it would
at
be,
anyway.
mate.
Right,
it
I'm
would
going.
be like the Pedro Pascal and Nicolas Cage meme, where you're just pissed off, and it's just me in the passenger seat. Just
Yeah, full version. Right, cool. Well, I'll speak to you in a bit. Thanks everyone for tuning in.
We've been the rundown.
We-
The game. If you want to go back and watch the actual stuff to do with the games, it's about 40 minutes ago.
It's a little bit.
It's right in the middle. It's between the weather report and the BAFTA convention.